Hello, welcome to another video. We are back looking at a tiny PC, a tiny laptop in fact. If I can work out how to open this box, and hopefully this time there won't be any major problems. In here we've got a power supply. This will come in very handy. These are the details. You can pause that if you need to see that. Oh, it's in one of those bathroom light boxes. Oh, look, that's interesting. It's a color switchable light. I didn't know you could get those. I think we should have some paperwork for this. Yeah, no. Where's the paperwork? Oh, there we go. We've got a quick start guide for the Ubisurfer 9-inch WinCE laptop, the Ubiquitous Surfer. These were sold, this looks like a printout, and were designed to give free internet access and no contracts. I'm pretty sure this company probably doesn't exist, but I haven't looked that up. Don't quote me on that, but you could read the news, check your emails, buy or sell online whenever and wherever. They were designed to come with either a mobile network connection or a Wi-Fi connection. And you got the device, quick start guide, which is this, a user manual, warranty card, power charger, charge the device for 4 hours, power on pressing the on off button, off you go, surf the web or use any of the other powerful applications. 2 USB and an antenna. And here's the other things we're kind of missing: a manual, little card, and here we have a Datawind menu and toolbar. But yeah, let's see what else we've got. Just general guidance on the other side of this. Activate the Ubisurfer internet, and that's pretty cool. Nice to see that. And this one is missing the battery and missing the cover, but luckily I have another one that I can take these from. They've both got the same labels on the back. Slightly different. This is a Ubisurfer. This is a Datawind Ubisurfer. Perhaps a later model or an earlier model. I'm not too sure. Windows Embedded CE, Windows Embedded CE. And hopefully we can use this without the battery. But you'll notice that it just tips over without the battery kind of holding it down. I'm going to plug the power in. Pretty sure this should work because it was shown as working on the listing. Plug the power in the side. On the side you've got 2 USB and an antenna connection. On the other side you've got SD memory card slot and audio connections. There's a trackpad, keyboard, power button and lights. And I'm just gonna adjust the camera, and then I'm gonna press the power button. Ubisurfer, the Ubiquitous Surfer. Got a little light here that is barely visible. Let's see, that was quick. It booted into Windows CE almost instantly, and we've got a little mouse that works. Let's see what the click is like. Oh wow, this is something else. This is kind of, the screen is over that direction. It's not lined up in the frame properly. What happens if I right click? Task Manager. Wow. So we've got Ubisurfer, we've got a recycle bin, we've got my computer, which looks like one of those pocket PC devices. And I don't know if anything is going to be on here in terms of someone else's files. Maybe they deleted it, maybe they didn't. Let's have a look in here. Got programs, communication, command prompt. That's interesting. Pocket Command 6.00, and it's kind of slightly off to that side. That is kind of frustrating that it doesn't properly line up. Can't execute ver. What can I execute in this? I don't really know. What else do we have? Terminal, games, Free Cell Solitaire, Tilefall, Allure, Zonix. I don't know what that is. Pocket PC games. So this is designed for a Pocket PC, which would have had a much smaller screen. What else do we have? I just loaded that, didn't I? I've just loaded exactly the same thing again. It's pretty slow when I've loaded this second application. I don't know what this percentage is or what is happening with that. I don't know how to play that game. Am I supposed to have a... I've got a... I don't know what I'm doing with that. So let me just quit that. I don't know what Tilefall is. Internet, we've got Ubisurfer. Should we have a look at that? Preparing to connect. I don't know what it's going to try and connect to. I don't even know what browser that is. Should we have a look at... So, preparing to connect, serial number retrieved, network connection is unavailable. Wi-Fi browser. That's trying to go to Google. So any information? And can I connect to my Wi-Fi? Media, we've got a media player, Mobi Pocket Reader, Paint, PDF Viewer, YouTube player. Interesting. Office, Mail, Plan Maker, Presentations, Text Maker, and Windows Explorer. So those are all the programs. There's favorites, there's documents, settings, control panel. Looks a lot like Windows. Is it going to tell us anything? So Windows CE version 6. Samsung Electronics processor. And there we go. We've got the full thing. It's an ARM920T-S3C2450. Expansion slots is blank, and it says it's got 94 megabytes of RAM. Here's our memory. Settings. Device name. Copyrights. OK. The mouse click is pretty annoying. It's got an MLC disk with 902 megabytes. So I'm guessing that must have been a 1 gigabyte drive. And I can dismount it if I want. Got some display settings. And I've just plugged a mouse in to make things a little bit easier for myself. So 800 by 460 background. Appearance. Windows Standard. So I've got all sorts of different color options. And you can save your own, I guess, and you can customize things. Got a backlight option. Turn off backlight. Interesting. Power, PC connection. I should try and see if I can connect to Wi-Fi. I'm sure the dial-up is not going to work. (2010). In the recycle bin, there is nothing of interest. Task Manager is very basic. Got some properties for the taskbar. Expand control panel. Okay. I've gone into the settings and network and dial-up connections. So can I connect to Wi-Fi using this Wi-Fi connection? It's got an RT28701. But how do I actually, let's try this make new connection. I don't want to dial up or direct, etc. I don't have a network socket on this. I do want to connect to Wi-Fi, but how do I do that? The Ubisurfer is a product of superior design and craftsmanship and should be treated with care. Just checking the manual to see how I connect to Wi-Fi connections. Assuming that this Ubisurfer company still existed, apparently it should just connect. And then if I want to manually connect, I use this button here, but I'm not sure how to connect to Wi-Fi. There doesn't seem to be a Wi-Fi tool to look at Wi-Fi networks. And does it have a SIM card inside that automatically connects? Would you like to connect? No, I just tried to. That's the same thing. It's going to do the same thing again when I press that. Doesn't seem to be any options. If I right click down here, nothing happens. If I left click, nothing seems to happen. Dialing, that's when you dial up to the internet. I just want to find a Wi-Fi connection option. Connect using desktop at 19200. But how? With a cable that I don't have? The Ubisurfer seems to be failing to connect. Let's have a look at settings. So this is a server address that it's trying to connect to, which probably doesn't exist anymore. Modem, preferences, device, so serial IMEI numbers, interesting. But yeah, this is not going to exist anymore, so how is it going to connect to it? And then how do I use the Wi-Fi browser if it doesn't let me connect to the Wi-Fi? Where are the Wi-Fi settings? Internet options. Just waiting and nothing is happening. That's a shame. It doesn't seem to be an obvious way to connect to Wi-Fi. Okay, I double click this. I get a Wi-Fi connection and wireless information. So maybe I can add one here. Oh, I need to cover that up, but I can see my Wi-Fi and the fridge. I don't know who's got a fridge with Wi-Fi. I've connected to the Wi-Fi. I can't spell, but this should work. Oh my goodness. Wow. I don't know why I find this so funny. This is just unbelievable that I've connected to a brand new, modern Wi-Fi network from my Windows CE 6.0 laptop on the FrogFind website. Let's see if it's got any information on the Ubisurfer. There's some videos of this laptop from about 15 years ago, and they're quite entertaining to watch. I think the Ubisurfer domain name has been taken over by some modern company. There's a Datawind Ubisurfer user manual PDF. Computer history. Let's have a look at this. I'm browsing the internet on this laptop. It costs £10 from eBay. So here we go. Datawind Ubisurfer computer. Originally costing £160, based around an ARM9 chip. Intended for internet use on the move. You would get 30 hours of internet a month. Struggle to view pages properly. No flash support. People can add modern boards and operating systems to the case for cheap office work on the go. Well, click on image. Where is the image? I guess FrogFind probably has taken this out. Can I view this? Oops. Do you want to allow this page? Yep. I want to copy that. I want to paste it. See if I can have a look at the actual page. No, I cannot. This browser is probably very out of date. Let's go back to the safety of FrogFind. So, business traveler. Nope. Nope. Do you think we can view a PDF or download a PDF? So Wi-Fi and a GPRS network with embedded SIM. So yeah, this is quite something. I didn't think I'd get this far, but I'm pleased that I have. It doesn't seem to like the idea of multitasking. I wonder if this will connect or not. Probably not. And we can have a look inside this laptop as this one doesn't work. I've there's another video on this one. But yeah, let's have a look inside. Under this section is the battery, which is here, and that is a 3.7 volt 3600 mAh battery. So we can put this one in this one, and also put the cover on the one that's working. I've taken all the screws out, and this should come apart now. And then there's a ribbon cable for the keyboard and a cable for the trackpad. So that comes away. The keyboard cable is here. This is for the trackpad. And then inside there is the main board on the left and a secondary panel on the right with USB and Wi-Fi connection. I wonder if there's there should be a SIM card or some kind of connection that allows it to have a data connection. So I'm kind of interested to see what's under here. This is the power button. There's one screw holding that in. If I flip this over, we've got a SIM card. Old school SIM card there. And maybe some kind of modem, etc. So that is kind of, yeah, it's an actual SIM card for, you know, the mobile phone network. And then on this side, we've got probably some RAM, probably some storage, and then there's one screw down here. Got a couple of speakers there and there. And also these weights to help keep it or stop it from tipping over. If I flip this over, we've got the main Samsung chip as well as power management. Oh yeah, you can see there it says ARM and the model of the chip. So yeah, it's really simple inside. Some extra kind of circuitry for the SIM card and Wi-Fi, and then you've got the screen at the top, some speakers and some weights to kind of stop it tipping over. But yeah, this is it. This is Windows CE 6.0, and it's not particularly feature rich, but I can imagine this would have been a nice little laptop to have at some point before netbooks existed, or maybe netbooks came along and made this fairly obsolete. Be interesting. It'd be nice if there was something to play on here, but I don't think there will be. Interesting. It's got a lot of support for various different files. Benchmark? That's interesting. Wonder how long that's going to take. Mobi Pocket Reader, Paint, PDF Viewer, YouTube Player. That would be pretty impressive if it actually let me use YouTube. Failed to connect to YouTube. I think I'm still connected to Wi-Fi, yep. I don't think this is going to work, but I failed to connect to YouTube, so no, this YouTube player is not going to be compatible anymore. PDF view of Paint, let's have a look at that. Yeah, it's expecting this to be a pocket PC, which is why everything is over in this corner. PDF Craft. And what other things do we have? Office, Mail, Plan Maker, Presentation, Text Maker. Let's have a look at that. In order to use SoftMaker Office, you must register this software. This is quick and easy and free of charge. Register later. Okay, let's try that. And we've got a word processor. Tip of the day. TextMaker displays a tip of the day. Really? I'd have never known. This looks quite interesting. There's quite a lot of stuff going on here. Is it still, do you think it's still benchmarking? And yeah, this program's still running a benchmark, so I'll quit that. See if this ends up being quicker. Maybe I'll quit some of the other things to try and get this to run quicker. Still seems a little bit slow, but it does seem quite fully featured in terms of a word processor. Let's try some typing. Let's try and make that bigger. Yeah, it's pretty slow, but definitely interesting to look at and quite a bit of fun. It's not got many fonts. But there we go. This is a little laptop. Kind of a sub netbook, smaller than one of these Asus EPCs. It's got a smaller keyboard to start with, and this is quite a lot bigger than the laptop, and runs Windows CE 6.0, and it's only got 1 GB of storage and 128 megabytes of RAM. So it's quite interesting to see what it's capable of and what they've put on here. But yeah, I think if you had this as a system, you would probably find it fairly limiting and fairly slow. It's got some impressive looking software though. This Office suite looks pretty impressive, considering the other applications you get on here. A lot of them are for Pocket PC. Got a nice wallpaper, but does seem a little bit slow. Let's close this and this. And let's see if this runs any quicker. It's still pretty slow drawing all of these menu items. Not really sure why, but yeah. That doesn't ask me if I actually want to power off, it just literally powers off. Kind of flickers a bit. That might be on the camera, it's definitely on the screen as well. Task manager, battery status, device status, date and time, desktop, and has it reconnected to the Wi-Fi automatically? Let's have a look. Yep. Well, there we go. There's our little laptop up and running silently. When you open it up, you kind of think, what is this thing? But it's kind of cute, kind of neat, and I'm really surprised that it actually connects to the Wi-Fi. If you got this far, thank you for watching, and see you in another video.